Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Wednesday Call Live. Filmed in beautiful Treasure Island, Florida with our president and CEO, Andy Albright.
Hey guys, Andy Albright, fired up, bringing the TWC to you today, live from Treasure Island, Florida, baby. And I done put in, I can't show you the phone, but I done put in my 6.2 miles of walking around this island, walking and talking, had my headset on. I'm so fired up. This is the most exciting time I've ever seen in the Alliance. And I think all of our agency managers, 100% of them will agree. It's the craziest opportunity in the world. We have an extreme agency managers incentive kicking off June 1, which is Monday. And they're all talking and buzzing and excited about promoting people. So we went over that yesterday at 4:30. I think almost every agency manager saw it. There's a couple of them that had things scheduled and they couldn't make it on the Zoom call. So I'm scheduling times with them. And then a lot of them have more questions, kind of understand how we could possibly give away so many millions of dollars and what's available for them. So all agency managers, not kidding, it's on go. Let's crank this thing up. If you have any questions, make sure you get in touch with me and hollering at me. Also, another big thing is this COVID-19 thing is just driving us crazy. In North Carolina, our very cautious, I think that's what I'm allowed to say, our very cautious governor, Roy Cooper, my friend Roy, my boy Roy, is not encouraging people to get together. Matter of fact, Ace Speedway, our racetrack, our local redneck racetrack, got together, and he's all calling him irresponsible and stuff. So, woohoo! So we're going to err on the side of caution, and we're going to say we're going to reschedule that this coming week. We're going to reschedule that. Except I am going to be there, and we are going to do live trainings. I'm going to do a show the plan on Wednesday night. So I will do a live Zoom call, and a couple of my buddies will be there. It won't be crazy because we're rescheduling. We're not canceling, we're rescheduling. Just like the Alaska cruise, we're still going to go. We're still going to go shoot stuff, but we are going to reschedule the Fanatics get together, the training in Burlington. We're going to reschedule that. We're going to err on the side of caution with Roy, the boy Cooper. So our governor will be happy. So I want to let you know that. Oh, I see some people joined us. Some of the winners are on here. Woohoo! Can everybody see these people? This is awesome. Okay, Super PAC. We have a deal called the Super PAC, and it is appreciation for producers. We call it the Super PAC. It's a super producer appreciation chart. I don't know if we have that available to show, but this starting June 1, we're going to do a lot of recognition of producers. This looks great. You just put that up. My team just put that up. Scroll it down towards the bottom. Let's talk about these platinum producers. We're going to show people how to bounce up to 120% contract by issuing $70,000, and we're going to call them platinum producers. Jeremy Patton, I see you looking on. I see Janina looking on. Y'all might want to shoot for these crazy numbers. Megan Wood, I think she's shooting for that this month already. So we're going to bounce people 2 months. There's a little, scroll it down a little bit further too. There's a little caveat down there that says you got to do 20 applications. So $70,000 in production with 20 apps issue paid 2 months in a row. You can go all the way to insane 120 contract. So you can see the numbers. How'd you like to be a silver producer? How'd you like to be a gold producer, ruby producer? $50,000 2 months in a row. So we're excited about rolling this out and having people bump up based on personal production 2 months in a row. So this is pretty exciting to me. I think Janina, exciting? Yes, 2 thumbs up, exciting? Yes, Patton? Yeah. I don't know if y'all can see other people on here, but this is crazy talk. Okay, scroll it down a little bit and let's talk about moving up. If you're a super producer and you can find super producers, Right here, we can show you how not writing 70,000, but writing 45,000 2 months in a row, and find 3 producers doing just $20,000 a month in a row would get you all the way to a 119. And then let's look at the 20 down at 105. You can 105 just by writing 25,000 and getting 2 producers to do 20,000. Pretty simple. All the agency managers have this, and they can show it to you and explain it. Scroll down a little bit. Let's show them how to get to a 130. So scroll me down just a little bit more, Tia. All right, there you go. 50,000 personal production and 6 people with 20,000. You can go all the way up to a 130. And a lot of people are going, but the levels chart stops at 120. Not no more. We're going to take it to 140. 140, 140% agency managers are fired up about the higher commission grids and getting there. So the super producer appreciation pack or super producer appreciation chart shows people how to get bumped up quicker. So we're looking for some super producers. We're excited about it. So Tia, is it possible that you could show the levels chart that now goes to 140, just so people see that it's real? There it is. Boom, yeah. Okie dokie. There it is. That's coming on strong right there. See how it starts at 55? Scroll it down. Now it used to go 115, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. Now it goes 115, 120, 125, 130, 135, and 140. Jeremy, you excited about going to the top of that, baby? 140. Woo! Shicky boom now. Okay. All right. So I have one other big announcement that starts June 1. It's with foresters. Since Nassau Re said we don't want any more life production, we said, let's talk foresters into giving us more money. And instead of writing that business with Nassau Re, who don't want it, let's write it with foresters who does want it. So they gave us 10 more trips to Toronto, Canada. Right now we have, I think we have 40 people going to Toronto. Now we're going to have 10 more people win. So if you've already won the contest to Toronto, we're going to go to Toronto. We got that set. I think we got it set in the fall. We're going to add 10 more people to it, and we're going to decide in just 1 month. So in month of June, if you turn in the most foresters applications, listen to me, the most foresters application, you will get invited with that 40 people to go to Toronto. It might be too impossible of a task, but if you can show me the 40 that we're going, Tia, eventually before this contest's over, then the 10 will know who they're joining. I know we do have a foresters contest going now for cash that's going to keep going. So people are trying to, if they won the trip to Toronto, now they're trying to win cash by writing more business with foresters. But now, if you didn't win the trip, you get 10 more slots are going to open. So it's the top 10 applications. So if you turn in 30 applications with foresters, I don't care about the premium. I do care about the premium, but the contest is going to be based on app count. So whoever has the most apps turned in with foresters and issued in a month, you win an all expense paid trip to Toronto. And we had a good time last time, didn't we? That was a fun trip. Okay. All right. So I think those are the big announcements. Oh, let's talk about the winners, because that's why Jeremy, he's on here, is because he's one of the winners. I got it right here. Chill for just 1 second. I got him right here. Here we go. Top submit this week in the whole United States of America is Janina Wilson. There she is. Janina, right here. It's 21,000, and that is Kyle and Janina. 21,214 applications submitted this week. Way to go, Janina. That is so impressive. Jane Hill, she's probably somewhere walking around the campus. She turned in 7 applications for 18,000 this week. Not a bad week. And Jeremy Patton, there he is, 17,000 with 3 applications. Way to go, Jeremy Patton. That's what I'm talking about, brother. There's your name right there in lights. Okay. Is she paid? Once again, Kyle and Janina. 18 applications issued. for $17,000. I don't need mine. I can read it right here. For $17,000 issue paid. Way to go, Janina. Mark Hutchinson had $12,000 issue paid. This isn't a week, boys and girls. So think about this. If you look at the Super Producer Appreciation Pack, if these guys had just been starting, they're going to pop right up to 100, pop right up to 105, pop right up to 120% with these kind of numbers. Janina, you fired up about that? That'd give y'all a crazy big raise. Y'all just bought a new house, right? You and Kyle? Yeah. Pay that sucker off and start planning for a bigger one. All right. Mark Hutchinson, congratulations. Junior Korea. Just the other day, Junior was like, man, I'm trying to figure out how in the world you can submit 10,000 in a week. Now he's issue paid 7 apps for $11,000, right at 12,000 a week. Way to go, Junior. George Andershock, 11,000 issued. Miles Gatos, 11,000 issued, and Jake and Bell Krause. So Bell Krause figured out a way to issue $10,000 in a week. Way to go, Bell. 12 applications. Not far behind, Jeremico Edwards with 13 apps. Way to go. These are issue paid, boys and girls. This is the real deal. Paul Minichino, almost 10,000 with 8 apps. Justin Bailey, 9,300 with 12 apps. And Marvin and Rachel Osuna, 9,000 issue paid. And Lee Reyes, 8,000 issue paid. All right, scroll it down a little bit for me. Yeah, I can. There we go. Wait a minute. Janina, y'all can't lead the country in recruiting and selling. That's impressive. Olga and Jason Mathis, who hired Kyle and Janina, are number 2 in recruiting. Jason and Tony on the West Coast, number 3 with 5 recruits. Brandon and Ashley Beal with 5 recruits. Mike and Michelle Alleman with 4. Andy Riddle with 4. Jeremy Patton with 4. Cody, that is Cody in my office, ABTF, 4. Paul Roberts, 4. And Raphael, what a Patrick Connor's team with 3. That is strong. Janina, I was just talking to another couple, and I said, do y'all think y'all are like, let's say, half as sharp as Kyle and Janina? And they're like, we think we're sharper. I said, would you like us to run our contest based on your intentions, or would you like us to run it based on what you actually do? And it's like, well, I guess you should do it based on what we do. I said, well, how about y'all start doing, Jeremy, I'm going to get me some stickers when I come back to the home office. I am going to be at the office next week. Give me some Alliance stickers. I ain't got no stickers on my Yeti. Okay, I'm excited about those people. We do have some other leaderboards that they're posted on ARC. They're posted on Band. You want to pull those? Let's go ahead and pull those up, and we'll look at those Forrester standings. So these are people going for cash. Mark Hutchinson looks like he's on the way to win $5,000, and he's pretty far out of Adam Johnson. Well, it's not that far up. Adam, you could move up there and take $4,000. There we go. Mia Fennell's not too far out, $3,000. Paul and Rachel. So I don't know which one of these. Stephanie Rodriguez just cracks me up. Rookie, and she has beat out most of the managers and going to pick up $4,500 cash. That is smoking. Joe Dukes. So this is the Forrester's cash contest. So there's another contest going to be introduced next week called the Forrester's Extra 10 going to Toronto. All right, let's scroll down. Let's see what else we got, Tia. Move on down. Let's see who we got. Forrester's. Fanatics bonus. This is $1,000 cash. Looks like James and Jane are going to pick up $1,000 for life. It looks like Megan Wood is going to pick up $1,000 for annuities. No, my bad. Life. Paul Minichino, $1,000 for life. Mark Hutchinson, $1,000 extra. Robert Wilson, $1,000 extra. Kyle and Janina, again, $1,000 extra. It looks like Lua Body's going to pick up $1,000 for annuities. Looks like Mia Fennell is going to pick up $1,000 for life. And Junior Korea Look at how many people in the month of May has already went over 30,000 issue paid in a month. That is strong. And one couple is already over 50,000 issue paid. So this is by the way, the month's not over. It looks like Evan Patzer is going to issue over 30,000. It looks like Brant Swindell is going to issue over 30,000 and get a $1,000 check. Justin Balick, Adam, look at all the people over $30,000. This is exciting. Okay, scroll down. Let me see more. West Coast recruiting. Let's see who's winning that. These are the people we're flying the jet out to pick them up. Jason and Tony, Paul Roberts, Texas. Let's see who's next in Texas. That'd be Diane Lampia's Texas. Kelly Haney's Texas. And then the West Coast, Jason and Tony, Brandon Ashley Bill, and Jake and Bell Krause. Jake and Bell, you are running. Angela Manzo is not far behind you, and Dana is not too far behind you. Make sure y'all keep pressing. On the other hand, your Lee Reyes mama's not too far behind. Adelia. Okay, let's scroll down and see what else. We've got contests galore. I hear we had some new Thailand winners. You told me who they are. Let me see if I can see. Oh, yeah, here we go. Tim Sight is new to winning the trip. Tim and Sarah. Robert Wilson is now got a trip for 2. Joseph Dukes already won a trip for 2. And Eric and Bobby Belair have a trip for 2. So 14 couples are already slated to go to Thailand with us. Kyle and Janina, y'all are like that close. Who's that? Okay. All right. Scroll down and see what else we got. All kinds of contests. For the manager contest, study group, F&G Life. That's going to be down here in Florida. Let's see who's won that. James and Jane are going to be down here. Marvin Osuna. Amaka is going to be down here. Way to go, Amaka. 12 apps issue. Chris Baldwin will be here. Miles Gatos. Jeremy Patton will be here. Jeremy's going to be a good time. Justin and Sydney will come up from Miami. I don't know who David L. is. You know who that is, Jeremy?
Yes, sir. He's Paul Roberts' team.
Who is it?
He's with Paul Roberts.
Do you know his name?
David Lewis.
David Lewis. Nice.
Yes, sir.
Brandon Ashley Bill. And then Marty G. I'm not sure who that is with Jason and Tony and James P. I don't know who that is with Justin Bailey. Actually, I think I met him. And Casey. All right. Okay, what else contests we got? These are all posted on ARC. Oh, this is another recruiting contest that Lucero Diaz is winning. Terry Edwards is right behind her. Keep going down. Another contest coming up. Recruiting. $10,000 cash. Andy Riddle is on track. Kyle Cater. Jason and Tony. Mike and Noel. William D. Who is that? William D. with My Base. I wonder who that is. Better figure that out. Jason and Olga. Paul Roberts.
That might be Will Dancy in ABTF.
Oh, it might be Will Dancy. It's not. Yeah, I got you. That's who it is. I ain't used to seeing it with William. That'd be cool if he got $1,000. And then there's Will Paris down there at number 9. Not bad. Okay, keep scrolling down. Rolex. Megan Wood leading the country. Paul Menachino, Rolex kind of. We got much money we're giving away in Rolex watches. That's a tight contest. And it's critical to be higher to the top. You get a better choice of Rolexes. Are y'all on that, Janina? Oh, you're so close. Number 14. I have a prediction. I think you're going to come on strong and win these numbers I'm seeing. All right, let's see. Roll down, Tia. I need to get to this training. Recruit leaderboards. Riddle still leading the country. Kyle Cater coming on strong. A lot of people say, you need to call my name. I'm way down at the bottom. Okay, scroll down. We'll see some people down at the bottom. There you go. Called your name. Almost. Okay, all this is on the art. I'm ready to get on to my slideshow. and do my training. Hey, well, let's do this. Is there any? I can't see if there's other people on here that are leaders. Jeremy Patton, what's
Yes,
happening,
sir.
bro? How you writing so much business?
Man, well, I'm committed to putting in the work, booking my 30, 40 appointments a week, seeing people, talking to people constantly. We're hiring like crazy. We're hiring more people than we've ever hired before. And right now, after that call that we did yesterday, I couldn't sleep. And then when I did sleep, I was dreaming about it. I was telling Paul this morning, I dreamt about
You're
walking
talking
across.
about the extreme manager bonus and incentives,
Yes,
how
sir.
everybody's going to be peer pressure.
Yes, sir. Exactly right. I didn't know how much you wanted me to share.
Adam Katz texted me this morning at 4 a.m. He said, I can't sleep. I'm so anxious and excited. I will not let the team down. That's what he said.
Amen. I'm with you on that, Andy. When I saw what you rolled out yesterday, I literally couldn't. I couldn't sit still. I've got urgency like never before. We're going to double this year. I'm saying that now. We're committed to doing it, and I'm grateful that you put this together. You said it earlier. These are the most exciting times that you've ever seen in the Alliance. I've been here for a little bit. I've never, ever seen it this way. Just when I think it's better than ever, it gets better. And I'm just so grateful for you, your vision, your relentless love in leading the way and helping us and making it better. Because of you, because of the Alliance, because of what you put together, we are going to grow like never before. And I'm not going to let the team down.
I see Megan Wood popped on here. Megan, how's it? I'm glad to see you. How's it? It's weird to be on here with number one, Janina Wilson this week.
Well,
I know.
Don't say
Hey.
good for Janina. Good for Janina.
Hey, I'm still number one in the country, baby. That's right. That's right. Better watch out, Paulman and Keno. You just wait till next week. You just wait.
Y'all gonna like. I got to tell you, the first slide that I'm teaching on is from Aristotle from over 2,000 years ago. This joker was kicking cans 300 years before Jesus was on earth, and he talks about the power of competition. He said it was one of the biggest secrets of the Greek conquering the world was competition. He calls it self-worth edge. How do you keep your edge sharp? And I make fun of Megan because people always get like, good for Megan. I'm so happy for Megan that she's kicking our butt. And I just think it's so good for Megan. I'm like, shouldn't you be getting mad? You know what I mean? You're a competitor, ain't you, Megan?
I am. Yeah, I am. I like to be on top. I like to be on top. But
when you were a waitress, did you keep track of your tips and try to get your tips more?
yeah, I made sure I always made $200 a night, and if I didn't, I would be very, very upset. I would find a way to get that. So,
You'd be like, y'all need some more ketchup or something.
I'd be calling people, hey, come in here. Come in here. You know what I mean?
What's you work? Applebee's?
Yeah.
How much money have you made with us so far this year?
78,000.
Not bad. Not bad in less than 5 months from a waitress from Applebee's, right?
That's right. I was making 30,000 a year.
A year.
A year.
And saving money though. That's impressive.
Yeah. Yeah.
I wouldn't save no money if I wasn't making 30,000 a year. I'd be
Yeah. I don't know how I did it.
People too.
I wasn't going to shopping and stuff like that. That's for sure.
You wasn't going shopping.
I wasn't going shopping when I was doing that. Now I'm finished in my basement.
You did not have an Amazon Prime problem ordering stuff, did you?
I did not.
Have you started doing it a little bit now that you got money? Pop something off of Amazon Prime that you want.
That's right. That's right.
Do you like that? Do you like
Whenever
that?
I want. I love it.
I do too.
I don't have to worry about bills. I don't have to worry, The only thing I worry about is getting my numbers up. The only thing really I worry about. Who am I going to call next? What am I going to do next? Who am I going to help now?
What are you shooting for issue paid this month?
This month, well, see, I have a run that I'm doing. It's my son's at his dad, so I have 20 days. So my goal here this week is 35,000 in a week.
35,000. Submit.
Yeah, submit. So if I do 5,000 a day, and I add 7 to that, that's 35,000 in 1 week. So that's kind of like what I'm focusing on. You know what I mean?
I
And
know
if I
what you
do
mean.
more, that's great.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I'm looking for that super PAC. I'm gonna see what you could do on that super PAC. I got a copy of it right here. I'm not sure if you got one, but I look at that thing and go like, see what she could hit if she hit super PAC. Super PAC. So you could do a 70,000 issue paid 2 months in a row and pop up to a 120. How big of a paycheck would your pay would go through the roof, wouldn't it?
I know. Yeah, it would.
You excited about that?
Yeah.
Does it
I'm
seem like
fired up.
Mike and Noel are excited for you?
Yeah. Yeah, they're
want you to-
excited for me.
They want you to bump up.
Yeah. Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do.
Hey, I had a question from a lady today. She said, Megan says she might talk to people 15 minutes before she gets into details. How does she do that? And I was like, I didn't tell her for a long time. I wouldn't even answer the question because I want to keep her in suspense.
Mhm.
But talk to me about you. You just build a lot of rapport with people, asking questions and learning stuff about them. Is this true?
Yeah. Yeah, I do.
Tell me some of the things you learn about people pretty quick in the first couple of minutes when you're on the phone with them.
Well, I ask about their family. So, I mean, I ask, if they have grandkids. I ask if they have kids. I ask all those questions. And then I write it down because that's something you might be able to help them out with later. I ask them how they're doing about the virus, especially when their hobby's on the piece of paper, then talk to them about their hobby, kind of see where they're at and stuff like that. And then I go into, who are you concerned about? Who are you trying to make sure is taken care of?
The way I picture you is you're taking them down a funnel that leads to them buying life insurance.
That's right.
You're taking them down a funnel that leads to them moving money to something that you control, like a
That's
NASA
right.
annuity. You just start out like this, and you're gathering information gathering.
Yep.
Hey, you're real smart already. Let me tell you what, you're gonna love this book right here about his funnel and how he sells.
Okay.
You ought to get a hold of it. I think you're gonna just love it.
I heard that.
I don't
I
want
heard
you to
about
waste.
that.
I don't want you to waste too much time reading, because I don't want you to all of a sudden get too smart you can't sell 50,000 a month. Because I have some people that used to be.
Does that happen?
Huh? Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. I don't
How?
have a problem. I stay dumber than dirt. It ain't been a problem for me.
Okay. Okay. Got
It's
it.
really it's ego. Their ego goes up. That's what it is.
Okay.
More their ego than their intelligence go up. Okay. Well, good for you, Megan Wood. Good for you. Okay, Janina, you have a chance to talk now.
Hello, Andy.
Are you fired up?
Oh, God. I don't know where to start. I'm so excited. Thank you so much, Andy. I mean, this life that we get to live because of you, I'm so absolutely grateful.
It ain't because of me.
Thank you so much.
It's because of you and Paul Roberts. It's a team effort. But I'm excited for you and Kyle. So y'all just moved to Jacksonville,
Yes.
and y'all gonna go full time.
Yeah.
I was talking to somebody earlier, and they said they're full time. I said, no, you just don't do anything else. There's a difference. Full time is when you're full time. You could say, I don't have another
24/7.
job. I have no other job than this. Okay, that's a fair statement. When people say full time, I got to be looking for some numbers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So whoever's I'm talking about, don't get mad because nobody knows I'm talking about you. I love you. I care about you. I'm trying to get you to. I want you to change and kill it and get money coming in. Have you made a lot of money so far this year, Janina?
Yeah.
More than you've ever made in your life?
Yes. It increases every year, every month. It becomes more. Yeah. It just accumulates.
Y'all excited about this super PAC?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, if I can go all the way to the top as fast as possible, I will.
I've been telling everybody about our poker analogy. I'm going to talk a little bit about it in the teaching today, but I think that was a cool analogy. Is Kyle using that for recruiting?
Yeah, yeah. It's all gibberish to me, but I'm gonna look more into it.
What
Yeah.
did you say? It's all Greek to you?
Yeah.
Funny.
I don't
That's
know nothing
funny
about
coming from
card
a
games,
German.
so
That's funny coming from a person who was born in the Black Forest.
right, right. In the
Tell
village.
them what I'm talking about, so that they don't think I'm crazy. Well, they know I'm crazy, but
Well, I'm from the mountains. You know, I grew up in a little village. 1,000 souls live there. That's including children. There's like 3 miles around it, only forest. There's nothing else. Like you drive another 25 minutes
what do
to
you
the next
call it?
thing.
And what do you call it?
Where I grew up in the Black
Yeah.
Forest.
The Black Forest, right?
Yeah, yeah.
People think I'm making this up, but it's true.
It's Gerville. Yeah, that's the that's the village.
Okay. All right. I take it we don't have any of our other leaderboard people on the call on our Zoom, which is fine.
Mark Hutchinson might be on.
I don't see him. Can you see him? I see him. Hey, Mark.
Hey, buddy. How's
Hey,
it going?
brother. These girls are kind of like killing it. You notice that?
Yeah, Megan calls it first place. I call it a head start.
So she has a head start because she started at the start,
Right.
and you're starting now.
She's kicking my ass, but it ain't going to be for long.
So you're not one of the ones going, "Get right for you."
God, no, I'm pissed off. I got to get to full time.
Let's see where you are. 12,000 issue paid this week. How you like that producer achievement chart, appreciation chart? What do you
Man,
got your eyes on that one set on that 70 or 50,000?
Yeah, the one you sent me a few weeks ago was 50,000, so we hit that this month. I hope you're counting it for May too.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah.
But now I see the 70, so it's stepping it up a notch. It's just crazy to me, Andy, to think that 6 months ago, a year ago, we were, we thought we were doing good when we were issue paying 20 grand a month.
I'm gonna send you this, Mark.
Okay.
This. Boom. Yeah. Okay. So you can study it.
All right.
Good job. Congratulations on 12,000 issue paid this past week. And number one with Foresters. I guess you already won the trip to Foresters. You're already going to Toronto, right?
Correct.
Now you're trying to win more cash with Foresters.
Correct.
Tell us, have you had a second child yet, or just?
Yes, we had the second. Well, I've got 2 now with my wife's got a daughter from a previous relationship, and so then we had a little baby girl back in March of 2018.
2019, 2020.
We
So
got
coming up
2
2
right
years
now.
old.
Just turned 2, yeah. Little Georgia May, she's 2.
And the other little girl that your wife's, how old is she?
She is 12. Adriana is 12.
So a 2 and a 12.
Yes.
So 2 and a 12 and a 20+-year-old.
Yes.
Mama.
26. Yes.
Okay. All right, brother. Well, look, maybe you could ask them what's the secret these 2 girls have, Megan and Janina, because we're going to do this again next week. Hey, it'd be cool if it was y'all on here again next week. Wouldn't that be crazy if y'all just kept showing up?
Well, it's going to happen.
What if Megan Ferran, what if she's like looking in and going, "Dadgummit, I'm coming to get them." She's brand new. Might as well be her. There's some other people on here. Okay, I got to get to this training. Thank y'all for jumping on the Zoom. Most people are on YouTube and they can't get on this, which is fine. But appreciate y'all being on here. Tia, if you'll pull up the slides, we'll talk about this art of persuasion. I'll see if I can do some teaching on persuasion, how I do it. Okay, so here's what happens. And this is really for my agency managers. Please goodness, Eric Belair, please goodness, Paul Roberts. Jeff wanted to study how Aristotle, over 2,000 years ago, worked on persuasion. Like, how did he get people to do stuff? whether it's build big, write a check. How did he get people to do stuff? So let's go to slide 2. Here's how he did it. He said that they believe that he said that their civilization was based on loquacity, which is talking people into doing stuff, and 2, competition. So in our world, with the Alliance, I would like us to be known as talkers, getting people to do stuff, write a check, build big, hire like crazy, and competition, just like that Greek world was built. Okay, so let's go to, so y'all see that self-worth was based on competition. Your self-worth based on competition. If she can do it, I can do it. If he can do it, I can do it. Attitude. Okay, all right, my bad. Keep going, move ahead. Okay, so this is about not the competition. This is about the talking part. Aristotle said that he used devices. Listen to this. It's like if you had a hammer and a nail, a saw, a drill. His devices to get people to do stuff is his strategies, his tools. And they were character, reason, emotion, analogy, and conciseness. His words were ethos, logos, pathos, metaphor, and brevity. So he had 5 different devices or tools that he used. So let's go to slide 4. Let's talk about the first one, which is character. Okay? So, and by the way, that book that I was showing earlier, he talks about this too. Your first thing that you got to get across is credibility or character. Okay? So he said that the first thing you need to do, not the most important, but the first thing was establish character. And he said the way that you establish character is through transparency and sincerity. Okay, so let's take a brief look at this slide. Okay, he felt like Aristotle believed that if a speaker's actions did not back their words, so what they say and what they do gives credibility. And if you didn't have credibility, it would weaken your sale on getting people to do it. So in other words, a good way to look at it is, I bet you Megan can hire salespeople. I bet you Jeremy Patton can hire salespeople. I bet you Janina and Kyle can hire, because people that have that credibility, they ooze credibility, then it sets them up to get someone else to make the same move. Okay? All right, a simple reminder that you're committed to the welfare, helping others, okay? So how do you get people to believe that you're there to help them? Transparency and sincerity. How do you convey that? That'll be on the next slide. How do you convey transparency? Slide, next slide. Okay. All right. So slide 5. Okay, here we go. If you don't have a hidden agenda, if you're not trying to trick people, and that'll give you trust, okay? You must come across to people that you're telling them the whole story and not just parts of the story. Okay? So this is how to get people to feel you're transparent. Because if you can get transparency and sincerity, you get credibility. So this is the transparency aspect that I'm telling you that you can get. Okay, so the first part of transparency is trust, and that's when you don't have an agenda. When you don't have an agenda, like you don't have something that you're trying to do, then people are going to trust you. And when they see full disclosure, then they have openness. So somebody was talking about how do you get people to tell you about their money? Well, apparently you must come across as you're disclosing everything, then they will be more open. All right, so let's look down here at these 3 ways to accomplish transparency. Accessibility. So for example, if you want to be accessible, if you're talking to people and you're familiar with the underwriters or the people at an insurance company and it's accessible, if you're trying to recruit somebody and you're accessible to me or your manager, so coming across as accessible, that you have access to information at, for example, Burlington Alliance Capital Management. If you talk about Chris Norris like he's your friend, that comes across as transparency. So opening up about who your associates are gives you transparency. Predictability, track record of selling insurance. Yeah, last week I moved 200,000. Last week I talked to a person that had 100,000. So your track record that you establish with people shows your transparency. The C, or the third thing on transparency, is legitimacy. So if you have your insurance license, that helps you be legitimate. If you have an endorsement from me to you, like I'm endorsing you, that makes you seem legitimate. So you really want to think about, how do I come across as transparent and legitimate? How do I come across as transparent and predictable? How do I come across as being somebody that knows other people? So that gives people a feeling of transparency, which is going to lead to credibility. So let's go from transparency to sincerity. Hey, well, let me stay right there. Go back go back a slide one more time, because this is critical. Okay. Your accessibility is relationships. Your predictability is track record. And your legitimacy is that you're legal, that somebody else endorses you. So you try to check those off when you're talking to people. Okay, let's go to sincerity. It's important to remember, before establishing your sincerity, you have to be viewed as genuine. It's simple, but many people fail to seem to be real. And I know what it is. How do you put your finger on it that people seem? I'll tell you, they not specific and they not direct. I had a person tell me, they said, well, they said, I need to be less worried about offending people. And I was like, I don't think being genuine is going to offend anybody. They're going to be weird if you're offending people for being genuine. Genuine delivers trust. Okay. All right. When you're being real, you're behaving how you would normally. You're not altering. Like, the impression that you give is a normal, like, this is who I am. You come across as some uppity snob, or you come across as you're trying to trick them, not good when it comes to sincerity. While being transparent will gain you trust, being sincere will get you respect. So transparent, trust, sincere gets you respect. So if you bring trust and respect, automatic credibility. So the tone that you come across, the way you look, the way you talk, the way you're normal, the way you're down where people are, you're not trying to come across as know-it-all. All these things tie into sincerity, transparency, and credibility. Keep it in mind, this is what Aristotle put in writing before Jesus was born. How do you get people to do something? You come across as genuine and sincere. So all this stuff is legitimate stuff that's been talked about for over 2,000 years, and it's in our books like Selling Your Way to Know, or Closing. What's the name of that book? All the books that we have on sales are trying to teach you to come across the same way that Aristotle talked about over 2,000 years ago. Trying to come across genuine, trying to come across real, trying to come across as who you really are, not some fake somebody. So let's say you are me from the country, engineer, come across as being some snobby somebody. Let's say you're somebody that went to a Ivy League school and you're smart and you're sophisticated and you try to fake like you come off like you're redneck. I don't need to be faking like you. You don't need to be faking like me. We need to come across sincere as who we are. I got a super intelligent, high-level attorney named Bob King, Robert King III. He come across extremely transparent and extremely open and sincere. But that son of a gun is way up yonder as far as like who he is and how he's trained. Way different than me. But I hope that we both come across to each other very transparent, open, sincere, and we both have credibility in what we're bringing to the table. I'm bringing businessman, he's bringing attorney skills, and I hope we both have credibility with each other. I believe we do. All right, let's go to slide 7. This is big. This was big. Starting to get crazy right here. All right. So the first one was credibility. And now we're on to reason. All right, so your first tool was credibility. Now your next tool is reason. So once ethos or credibility is established, now we need to move on to logic. Now it's time to make a logical appeal to the reason. Okay, so first credibility, then we're going to do logic. Logic is really like that, and then emotion. Okay. But you got to do credibility, logic, and then emotion. So we're on the logic part. All right, 2 ways to make it feel like and be logical. First is data, and second is evidence. Here's the funny thing. Me and Jeff were talking. He's the data guy. I'm the evidence guy. He brings content, and I bring context. So, like, for example, these slides are a lot of content. My goal is to put them in context. Like, how do you use it? Why is it worthwhile? I'll give you an example. 100% of our death claims are paid. Boom, meaning the insurance company. There's a statistics for you that's factual. Here's another fact. Everybody's going to die. Okay. Here's my context. You don't know when you're going to die. You don't know if it's going to be you or your spouse first. You need to have a safety net, a net there for you when it happens, and we know it's going to happen. So statistics-wise is content. How you need it is context. Okay? So context is what's it worth. So if you want to come off as logical, you've got to have statistics and come in with context, contents and context. The content is facts and figures. The context is why is it important? It's called relevance. Why does this matter to me? I was asked to speak to some of the most sophisticated insurance people in the world. And they took me down to Florida, paid all my expenses, and they want me to speak. It's about 400 of them. And they said, how is life insurance relevant? And I started laughing. I was like, why would you ask that? Because a lot of people have a hard time of putting it in the right context. They can do content, they can do data, but context, I just started laughing. I said, if I'm talking to a guy in a trailer park and he's worried about if he dies and they ain't gonna be able to bury him, I explained to him, when you die, not only are we gonna be able to bury you, you're gonna get a bad to the bone coffin, you're gonna get a nice hole, you're gonna get beautiful flowers, and you're gonna be able to pay for your friends to stay in a hotel if you want to. He was like, I'm 100% in. How much this cost? I was like, $80 a month, and you get the coolest casket there is, and your friends are envious, and you're buried in style and in class. He's like, I'm in. I was like, there's your context right there, and there's your relevance right there. They were laughing like crazy. I was like, it ain't funny. It ain't complicated. We're very relevant. I mean, this is a very important thing that we do, and I could do the same thing for retirement plan, tax free. So you gotta bring both of them. Okay. But don't spend so much time on content and spend a little bit more time with context. But don't leave out the content. That's like leaving out credibility. Don't leave that out before you get to the logic. So transparent and sincere and all that stuff, and then get to your logic. Dudes, I am telling y'all, managers, this is how you get money. This is how you get people to make money. I need you, Andy Riddle. Character, hit them with character first, then I'll hit them with logic, and then move on. This is character and logic. Boom, let's go. Credibility, boom. Let's move on to the emotional part. Okay, so here we go on the emotional part on number 7. 8. My bad. Let's move on to 8. So reason was logic. Okay. Emotion, he calls it pathos. According to Aristotle, persuasion cannot occur in the absence of emotion. Remember, reason and logic, boom, emotion. You got to get over here in the emotion thing. People are moved to action by how a seller makes them feel. So Andy Riddle, if you're asking your guy to do 50,000, you got to create a feeling, Bo. Character, emotion, then you got to work on this feeling. And the feeling part is big, Riddle. Adam Katz, feeling is big. You got to hit them with the logic, but this is going to be bigger, way bigger, is the emotional part. Okay, people are stirred to action by the way they feel. Aristotle believed the best way to transfer emotion from one person to another is through rhetorical device of storytelling. The device is the ability to tell stories. So get this, more than 2,000 years later, neuroscientists have found that his thesis is extremely accurate. Studies have found that narratives trigger a pure rush of neurochemicals in the brain, notably called oxytocin, and they call it a moral molecule. It gets people down in here to go crazy. So when I was talking to Janina's husband, Kyle. I was talking to Kyle, and I'm talking to him about recruiting, and I'm trying to get him to do stuff, and I feel like I'm talking to a window pane or a tree. I'm like, Kyle, I am not getting through to you. He said, I'm listening, and I'd ask him to repeat it back, and I would get frustrated. I was like, I am not connecting with my boy. I'm not bringing it home. So here's what I told him, and I want to say this to all my agency managers. I want to tell you this story and see if it reaches you on a different level. You got to think of stories. My boy Kyle says he likes poker. Well, I played poker with Fitzgerald, and he'll tell you I am not a poker player. And there's a reason I'm not a poker player. I'm a recruiter, not a poker player. I don't like poker. And I kind of know a little bit about it. And those of you that like it, you can love poker and be a great recruiter. You really can. It's not a problem. But I'm talking to my boy about being a great recruiter. And I'm keep telling him, it's hard to make chicken salad with chicken poop. So it's hard to be a great recruiter if you're not dealing with great people. And he's just kind of looking at me, eyes glazed over. And I was like, you can't make a silk purse without a sow's ear. With a sow's ear. And he's like, he didn't know nothing about a sow, didn't know nothing about an ear. He wasn't real familiar with a silk purse. I'm like, I was like, I got it. You can't win a poker hand with a terrible 5 cards. You got to have 5 good cards to win a poker hand. And he was like, really? I get it. You got to have a good hand. And so I got cold chills. I got cold chills now. I was like, you got to have a good hand. In other words, you can't be a good recruiter and win with a bad hand. So when I'm interviewing, I'm drawing cards, and I've got this set standards that I get. So if the first card I start talking to a guy and he can't enunciate his words, I can't understand what he's saying, I give him a 2 of clubs. Oh, that's a 2 of clubs, man. I don't understand what he's saying. Then when I ask him about his education, he's mumbling something I can't understand. I got a 3 of clubs. And he was like, I just fold. I was like, right. We're looking for higher quality people. So what if he starts talking to you, you start interviewing him, And he says, yeah, I'm 27 years old. I went to college at North Carolina State University or North Carolina A&T or Georgia State. I was like, I'd give him a king of hearts right there. He's like, well, it's a good start. And then I'd say, well, is it you? No, I got a girlfriend who lives with me, and she went to Georgia Tech also. I'm like, whoa, I give him a queen of hearts. So now we got a king of hearts and a queen of hearts. And he was like, oh, I'm real interested in this hand. I was like, right. Now, if you have a terrible hand, in other words, just, bad education, bad reputation, their resume, basically their resume is terrible. Can't keep a job, drawing unemployment. Oh, gosh, she's like, oh, God, I don't like this resume don't look good. Don't bet big. But if you got king, queen, jack, 10, 9, straight flush, or whatever that is, or a full house, four kings, 4 queens, 4 aces, 3 of a kind, anything like that. In other words, when you're talking to them, I'm drilling down and seeing who they are. And then people say, well, anybody can do this. It don't matter what you come from, Yale or jail, you can do this. But if you're the recruiter, it's a whole lot easier to bet big and spend a lot of money to buy $1,000 worth of leads on somebody that's a good hand. So you draw a good hand by talking to them. You're like, woo. And so now Kyle's leading the country in recruiting. And now what his goal is to not just recruit, but get them to do something and produce. And he knows now who to bet bigger on and spend more time with and spend hours chatting with and spend $1,000 worth of leads on them based on a good hand. So I feel like emotionally we had a much deeper connection on what Kyle needs to do for recruiting. And so I feel like that he's going to move more efficiently, move more effectively, and move more often based on this emotional, rhetorical, or storytelling that I did with him about recruiting. And I hope it helps some of you too. I hope I connected on a deeper emotional level that can help you move emotionally on recruiting. Your managers, I hope you'll learn that if a person, that analogy works with anybody, but it's all other kinds of analogies. Once you find out a person's good as a carpenter, you talk about a foundation. If they're a mechanic, you talk about the basics. There's different, in other words, you talk about stories that tie around their world, but get across the point of how we get rich and how we build it and how we affect other people's lives. Let me see if I'm there on emotion. Yep. Okay. All right, let's move to the next slide. Slide 9, coming down the home stretch. You got to keep in mind one of his things is brevity, so I can't talk too long or I'll lost my brevity thing. All right, let's move on to emotion. Okay, watch this. Research, 65% emotion, only 25% reason or logic, and 10% credibility. So once you establish credibility, don't keep coming back to it. Hit logic, and let's spend a lot of time on telling stories and the emotion. The stories that can generate the best connection, it may not connect with you because you're not a poker player, but it connects with Fitz, and it connects with Kyle, and it connects with anybody that likes poker. So something that connects emotionally with the person you're talking to. That's personal. Tales of failure, awkwardness, misfortune, danger. So Andy, how is this a failure? I suck at. Here's why I suck at poker. I will bet. I get a hand, I'm betting. You shouldn't bet on that, Albright. It's a terrible hand. I like playing. Here's another thing. If you get a bad hand and you fold, you have to just sit there. Bored out of my mind. I want to play. So that's why I keep putting money in, because I want to keep in the game. I don't want to quit. Just sit there. But so I keep betting. They wipe me out. I lose all my money when I play poker because I keep betting when I shouldn't bet. And then when I get a great hand, I ain't got no money because I done bet big on all the stupid hands. That's the failure, the awkwardness. In this business, if I talk to a person, I go, this is a terrible hand. Whew, I talk to the next person. I don't have to sit and wait for 10 minutes or 15 minutes for the game to be over and I get another hand. I just call another person. Even if I don't have one scheduled for 30 more minutes, I go ahead and call somebody else. I ain't got time to mess around. I like being in the game. I don't like watching other people play poker after I done folded. Okay. Recruiting, you can just stay in the game. Stay in the game. Bad hand, bad person, not going to be a good fit. Boom, move to the next person. Okay. All right, there's your awkwardness. There's probably different ways that we could lose also. We're at 9. The most personal content is the most relatable. So I don't know if it relates to you, but it's very authentic. By the way, if I was lying to you about the way I play poker, it would not come across the same. You would say, he's lying. He's fibbing. I'm telling you, I'm just not. Fitz will tell you, Albright, he be betting like crazy all the time. He going to win. He going to win. He going to play. No, I need to stay away from that table. Them people crazy. They like to sit there and think, be patient. Ain't patient. So when you're over here recruiting, you're not patient. You move on to a winning hand. Move on to a winning hand. People say, well, there's hard to get to winning hands. We'll sell a bunch of insurance, run a bunch of advertisements. Now you got a bunch of people to talk to. Not complicated. That's why I like this business. You can speed it up. All right, let's move on to, we did the emotional thing, high emotions. Let's go to the next slide, 10. Metaphors. Okay. All right. This whole slide is about telling stories or analogies. Aristotle said that a metaphor gives language verbal beauty. To be a master of a metaphor is the greatest thing by far. So your ability to master the metaphor. We've mastered the mundane. Now we got to master the metaphors. I just thought about one of my metaphors about birds flying south. If y'all ever heard this, when birds fly south, if one bird left too late, he was supposed to, you fly south for the winter, so it was getting cold. He didn't leave till too late, so he froze in midair. He fell. And when he fell in this big pile of cow manure where a cow had pooped. He was pretty fired up because he was warm. He was warm. He's like, ooh, this feels good because he's frozen. Now he fell in this warm cow pile. And then this kitty cat came along, and the kitty cat licked him off and washed him off, and then he ate him. That's one of the craziest metaphors. When it's time to go, go. Don't sit and wait till you freeze. When you start falling, try to fly. Don't try to look for a soft spot to land. Try to fly. Because if you land in something soft and warm, it might not be good. It might feel good, but not be good. And then whoever's getting you out of the dookie might not always have your best interest in mind. They might be getting you out of the dookie so they meet you. And there's a whole lot of other stories in there. And that's one of my craziest ones. And you can look that up. That's online. It's a crazy story. A lot of analogies in there about get up and go, watch where you land, watch what you land in, watch who's helping you. There's all kinds of analogies in there. So it's all about metaphor, stories. And he said, if you can figure out how to master that, it's huge. Okay. When you use a metaphor or an analogy to compare a new idea to something that's familiar to your client, it clarifies your sales pitch by turning the abstract into something concrete. Okay, I'm gonna try to do it again. We're doing an agency manager contest. If Chris Long don't do good, if Adam don't do good, if Diane don't do good, it hurts the whole team. If everybody does good, we're more likely to win. For example, on a basketball court, if you pass the ball and you run your job and I run my job and Paul Roberts runs his job and Michael Owens runs his job and Adam Katz runs his job and Jeff and Bailick runs his job on the basketball court, we will crush the other team. We'll kill them. But if one of us slacks off, then the other team is going to get an advantage and we might not win as much. So the analogy of sports to our agency manager contest we've got to work together, or if we don't all work, we're not going to win as much. We're not going to make as much. We're all tied together in that agency manager analogy or that contest. Okay. Those who master the metaphor have the ability to turn words into images, and they help others gain a clearer understanding of their message. More importantly, they can remember it and they can share it with others. It's a powerful tool. It's a powerful device to be able to tell stories. So here's a story that Jeff, he used this example. He said, the boring one is you could get hurt financially if you don't have an insurance policy. That's very boring. People won't remember it. But if you said to a person, not having a life insurance policy is like playing Russian roulette with your family. It's like playing Russian roulette. I don't want to reach over and grab my gun, but you spin around, brrr, and you go, and then it goes, boom. You don't know when you're going to die. You just know there's a bullet in there. And if it's your time, you can't do anything about it. So not having life insurance is like playing Russian roulette with your life. So that's an analogy. Here's another analogy. With the alliance, you can store up money in a closet. You can make money, put it in a closet. Make money, put it in a closet. You can store up a closet full of cash with us. We call it printing money. Printing money. Take the money, print it, put it in the stack it. Print it, stack it, put it in the closet. So that's a metaphor I use. Hiring other people, building a team, having a network is like having a stream of cash. And you just go out anytime you want to, and you can take an empty bottle like this right here, empty it out, scoop it up, take some money out, put it in the closet. Scoop it out, take the money, buy a Ferrari. No problem. Just scoop some more money out. So you have a stream of money based on a network of people selling. You got money coming in like a print press. But it's coming in like on a river, like on a creek. Kind of crazy, huh? So if you can talk in metaphors with the people about recruiting, about selling, they'll remember it more, and they're more likely to tell other people. They can remember the story better than they can remember the story better than they can remember the point. All right. Slide 11's got some crazy statistics or some logic on it to talk about this. Check this out. Our brains are wired for images. This is like sometimes when I talk to people or say things to me like, well, that's interesting, or I think you're right about that. I don't make none of this stuff up, guys. I am on it like stink on a daggum pile of dookie. Like a duck on a June bug. I am on top of this stuff. I consult with Jeff Bright. I consult with Jim Henson. I consult with Tim Go. I read the stuff myself. I've been doing it for 27 years dealing with people. I got a big network is what I got. I got a big network of people that I know, presidents of insurance companies, underwriters, CEOs, actuaries. I've got that influence, and the reason I've done it's based on facts and figures, not based on me guessing stuff. Like this stuff that Jeff put together is who I am, and me and him spend a lot of time. It's like, Andy, this is what you do. You got to explain it to people clearer so they can copy you rather than thinking they're copying you. Okay, so check this out. Our brains are wired for images. Metaphors are images in words. Metaphors paint pictures in a listener's mind. Look at these statistics. Information and data tell, logic tells, but metaphors sell. Because images are processed 60,000 times faster than text. So if you write down to a person like, you can make a lot of money and you can have it coming in every single day. You can have money coming into your bank account every day. People don't remember that as much as a river that's flowing dollar bills, and you can go scoop it up and bring it in the house. That image processes so fast and deeper down in a person's heart and soul because of the stories and the images that are laid out there. 90% of information transported to the brain is visual. So by me talking and then all my hand motions, if you're watching this, you're going to get more information from that than you do the words. Just that blows my mind, but it's still true. That's why when you're talking to somebody, you're better off to get in the house. If you're not great at sales, on the phone is going to be very difficult for you because you can transfer more information in the home. And these people that are really, really, really good, of course, they're doing it on the phone, but it's harder for most people because you can't transfer as much information as if you were in the home. Transmission rate of information to the eyes is 10 million times or 10 million bits per second. And what you hear is 100,000 bits per second. So what people see and what they can absorb is just insane fast compared to the words that you're saying. Okay, guys, I hope this helps you on what to do and how to make stuff work, how to influence people. Let's move to this last slide because I got to be brevity. Conciseness. People don't like for you to go on forever. Hello, I got to get off of here. All right. Here again, Aristotle was ahead of his time. Aristotle had discovered that there are fairly universal limits to the amount of information which a human can absorb and retain. When it comes to persuasion, less is more. Brevity is crucial in making a persuasive pitch. Aristotle said it should be expressed compactly in few words as possible. He also observed that the opening of a person's pitch is the most important part. Attention, slackness everywhere rather than in the beginning. A lesson is to start with your strongest point. So hit them hard and let's move. Strong beginning. Hit them hard. We're talking about printing money. We're talking about a way out of your job. Hit them with something powerful in the beginning, powerful and brief, and then let's move. So you get credibility. You come in there with credibility. You hit them with some logic that's powerful. Then you hit them with some powerful emotion. And then what you're going to do is loop back when you're trying to persuade and get somebody to move on something. Okay, how bad is people's attention span? Last slide. How bad are their attention spans? All right. People are drowning in information. They have so many daggum many choices, products, services, ideas. Oh my God, the money-making schemes out there. Let's keep it simple, boys and girls. We got leads. We got great multi-billion-dollar insurance companies with leads and insurance companies that'll pay fast. Lord have mercy. It's have to keep it brief and to the point. Because people got so many other things coming at them. If you go on and on about the opportunity, you can confuse the snot out of them, and they're going to go on to something else. People fear making change, so you keep it simple so it don't hurt them. Attention spans are shorter and shorter. In 2000, people had 12-second attention spans, and now people have an 8-second attention span. I don't know what it is, but people are short attention spans. All right, so I'm with you. Guys, I hope this persuasion talk helps you to get people to move. I hope it gets you to move if you'll repeat it. Agency managers, those of you that have not heard and seen this extreme bonus or you have questions about it, text me. I want to talk to you. Make sure that you guys are spreading the word about the super producer appreciation chart. It's a way to move up. We're going to start calling people ruby producers, diamond producers, gold producers, silver producers each month. So this month of May, we want to see how many different levels of producers that we create. And I can't wait to start calling you by the levels. And hey, this person is a pearl producer because they produced 35,000 issue paid. This person is over a diamond producer because over $60,000. Do it 2 months in a row. We're gonna bump them up to a 115 contract. Oh my gosh, this stuff's exciting. Okay, I'm gonna end early and call it brevity and call it concise. I hope it's helpful. I love y'all. Thanks, Janina and Megan and Mark and Jeremy for jumping on the call. Next, when I do it Friday, I'm gonna do the same thing. I want to get a couple of you guys' faces so they see who's kicking their butt and see that sharpen that competition edge. And definitely next Wednesday, we're going to do a live Zoom from Wednesday, even though we're not doing this Fanatics thing in Burlington, just because of our conservative nature of Governor Roy Cooper. We're going to say we're going to postpone it. Matter of fact, I'm thinking about Paul Roberts. I'm thinking about postponing it for a day in Dallas, Texas. But we could probably do something else in Dallas. Can't wait to get out there on the jet and say hey to everybody. And in Houston also. Okay, love y'all. Got to go. Thank you, Jeff Wright. It's great information. Tia, great job running this show and making it happen for everybody. Leaderboards are on Art. Check it out. Bye. Love you.